Welcome back, everyone. It's me, Matt. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hey, if you've ever flew on a helicopter, been a pilot of a helicopter, been a crew member of a helicopter, let me know in the comment section below. And also let me know what your own favorite military helicopter is out there today. I'd love to know. Drop me a quick comment in the comment section so I can interact with you guys. Today we're talking about Russian aviation and quite the little seafarer of helicopters that exist out in the Russian fleet. This is quite the impressive Ka-27, designated as the Helix by NATO standards, and it is an exceptional Soviet and Russian helicopter, long recognized as a formidable force against, you guessed it, submarines. This rotorcraft, despite its compact size, and I almost think it looks like a goldfish in all honesty, really does strike a little bit of fear into the heart of US submariners because it is boasting some unparalleled detection capabilities and, of course, the ability for it to actually engage and destroy those submarines also. Now, of course, the aircraft does have the ability to do, not just coastal operations or naval operations. It has a lot of involvement with land-based operations today, but specifically, the aircraft was actually inherently designed to take out submarines, and especially those equipped with nuclear missiles, of course. And these represent valuable assets in the arsenal of global powers, and these underwater behemoths possess a blend of immense destructive potential and the ability to silently traverse the depths, reaching their targets with surprise. No doubt that the Russian armed forces want to be able to engage those capabilities quickly and easily, especially with aircraft that can be launched from smaller ship, and of course Russia not having the more heavy-duty aircraft carriers of that of the West, they want these kind of helicopters to be reliable and heavy-duty to be able to engage submarines if necessary at a moment's notice. Now, the role hinges on launching devastating attacks capable of obliterating entire cities or sinking colossal ships with these kind of submarines. So it's really important these aircraft are reliable and able to do the job precisely. And what I mean by that is they need to detect as well as engage. And when looking for submarines, it's not quite as simple as you may think it would be. There's a lot of technological systems that need to be involved, whether it be sonar and buoys and all that sort of stuff. And when you're looking for submarines in some of the most remote, disgusting areas of the coastal ocean-faring environments, these helicopters are really pushing to the limits of cold, wet, salt conditions. It's really tough on aircraft, but as I said, they also have a lot of involvement nowadays with the Ukrainian conflict, things like that going on, where ground troops can also be utilized on the aircraft for just transport and normal role. In a strategic play, helicopters assume a weighty role, not merely as lightweight players, but rather as a middleweight or heavyweight contender. Their responsibilities really do span beyond the reconnaissance, though. They encompass the daunting task of actually finding and engaging the submarines, and among these rotorcraft, the Ka-27 emerges as a standout. Now, there are multiple different variants. A lot of the footage you're seeing is of the Ka-27PL, and this technologically advanced and reliable aircraft is characterized by a suite of distinctive attributes that not all aircraft would have. Now, earlier aviators of naval aviation were groomed on the Kamov helicopters, and these aircraft diverged notably from the familiar Mi-8 and Mi-24 models, not just in appearance but also in flight dynamics, particularly at lower speeds, which you're going to need to have when you're trying to chase something that is bobbing up and down in the ocean, or of course underneath the ocean, where speeds aren't really a problem. Now, the interesting thing about this aircraft is it's a tendency to align with the wind, akin very specifically with the dual rotor capability of a weather vane. And this actually defines the helicopter behavior extremely critical in ocean environments, especially when you're trying to land. You want something that's stable and very, very capable of landing in precise manners on the flight decks of aircraft, and the Ka-27 was very good at doing that, especially in challenging gusts. Maintaining a hovering stance is very difficult, actually, in helicopters like the Mi-24, which tends to pivot. However, the Ka-27PL appears virtually unaffected by the wind, maintaining its position effortlessly. The Airborne Flight and Navigation Complex, or FNC, plays a pivotal role in this, synergizing with the helicopter's design. Now, the Ka-27 helicopter is structured on a twin-rotor coaxial configuration, integrating two TV3-117VK gas turbine engines and a four-wheel landing gear. This unconventional layout really gives the need for the tail rotor and imparts an heightened agility and safety during shipborne operations while preserving compactness critical for small carrier-based aviation on some of the smaller destroyers or frigates that Russia tends to use. It doesn't have aircraft carriers. Despite its relatively short fuselage of 11.3 meters, the rotorcraft accommodates a diameter of 15.9 meters for its coaxial rotors. Foldable rotor blades enhance compactness, a crucial aspect, of course, for naval deployment, and the cockpit situates a navigator and pilot side by side with the navigator operator seated behind. The helicopter's midsection houses a pretty large cargo compartment, primarily filled with the equipment which is needed for the sonar cable reel. Below this compartment lies an area for anti-submarine armaments, and the fuselage culminates in a concise tail boom characterized by the uncontrolled stabilizer and dual-blade rudders. To ensure buoyancy during water operations, there are inflatable ballonets that can be concealed beneath specialized flaps along the fuselage's sides to promptly inflate within seconds if it hits the deck. Now, the power plant is very powerful, producing around 2,200 horsepower each engine, alongside with an AI-9 auxiliary power unit, giving it lots of energy if it needs to just prepare on the flight deck without boosting up those main engines. The principal gearbox, designated the Ka-27 VR252, surpasses the complexity of gearboxes in single rotor helicopters like the Mi-8, which I found quite interesting, transmitting greater power. Now, the Ka-27PL's Flight and Navigation Complex, or FNC as I mentioned before, boasts exceptional capabilities for its time and age, and of course, progressively it has been updated, but however, in its standard configuration as of today, it is very capable of a good flight control system. Beyond the standard equipment, its radio navigation suite includes the A324 short-range system and the Octopus PL all-encompassing radar, distinguished by a very fine resolution bandwidth. The FNC permits automatic flight through pre-programmed waypoints with an in-flight alteration of route turning points if necessary, allowing the pilots to focus on other things when operating within an environment when they're looking for submarines. Notably, the system facilitates automated return to specific points, crucial for pinpointing enemy submarines. This capability was demonstrated in exercises by citizen pilots during the flight-to-sight drills when they tested the aircraft in a multitude of naval operations. Automation is further exemplified through the Octopus Search and Sight system and the Drive SV board system, orchestrating automatic flight. The Octopus SPS integrates radar, hydroacoustic stations, navigation tactical indication, radar sonar buoys, and magnetometer for submarine detection capabilities. This dovetails with the Drive SV board equipment, armament, and other systems which tie into a very good anti-submarine capability. The Ka-27PL's versatility extends to combat roles not only for solo submarine detection and engagement, but also coordinated actions within a group for up to 4 helicopters to engage ground-based attack, if necessary, with cannons and rockets. However, notably, this is not something that is normally operated on this aircraft, and it's primarily set upon the Mi-24 and Mi-8 systems to kind of take on that role, because it's not designed to be going in for ground-based attack. It's there for hovering and searching for submarines, and you tend to see sometimes, though, the aircraft using in some form of ground-based operations, but primarily at the ocean. The helicopter's weaponry does encompass an array of options as anti-submarine depth charges, aircraft torpedoes, and missile torpedoes. Somewhat concealed in discourse, the Ka-27PL also carries tactical nuclear armaments intended for countering global nuclear threats. Yes, it can actually carry nuclear weapons if necessary, but I can't imagine it trying to actually launch or drop one of these things. More likely something that would be dropped into the ocean to make a tactical nuclear explosion in the ocean, but that would be incredible to see a helicopter actually do that. Of course, beyond its combat roles, it can also execute search and rescue missions, resulting in the development of the Ka-32 helicopter, which impressive resilience characterizes about 1.5 hours of one engine inoperative. That's a sustained flight of 1.5 hours with only one engine, which is incredible. The helicopter's operational history includes various incidents, some attributed to human error for sure. There's definitely been some incidences with this aircraft, but a remarkable decision was given to enhance pilot training, which prompted flights of the governor shaft to be disconnected and auto-rotation landings be tested on with both engines shut down, basically putting pilots under high stress, doing a actual shaft disconnect drill to ensure that they can land appropriately and do the appropriate drills to get the aircraft without crashing to the floor. Very, very interesting. Presently, over 80 Ka-27 helicopters remain in service with the Russian Navy's aviation division, and ongoing modernization efforts have yielded a Ka-27M variant equipped with the state-of-the-art digital system arrived from the PNK-37 used on the Ka-52 Alligator helicopter. The glass cockpit concept enhances pilot data processing capacity. The modernized version of this aircraft, designed with an open architecture principle, facilitates adaptable onboard electronics, which gives the ability for the aircraft to do a lot more with a lot less, whether it be fuel economy with the engines, tracking of information that are going across the network of the fleet, or just being able to do their job, which is hunting for those submarines, giving a little bit more automation. Noteworthy enhancements encompass the integration of real-time information sharing with ground or ship-based command posts and other helicopters. The Ka-27M integrates an innovative radar command and tactical system from the Phasotron NIRR Corporation, boasting advanced acoustic, magnetromic, and radio reconnaissance systems, alongside the Spear Alpha radar station, which is an active phased antenna array. Similar enhancements extend to the IL-38, another guardian of the maritime borders. The modernized IL-38N, or Novella, featuring the latest sighting system and search system for the Novella P-38, reinforces Russia's naval capabilities. So there you have it, folks, a Russian Navy helicopter primarily designed for taking out submarines, and as I said, it looks like a giant goldfish flying through the sky, but you wouldn't want to be messing with this goldfish. It's more like a hunter-killer shark. If you are a submarine operator, this thing is certainly going to be looking for you if you go into its territorial waters. I hope you enjoyed today's video, folks, and learned something about this beautiful helicopter. If you did enjoy the video, of course, please leave me a like. Click the thumb button, it really helps out, and just leave me a comment for that algorithm. If you want to be notified of any upcoming videos I'm producing in the future, you can click that little bell by the subscribe button, and you can also go check out my link box below, which includes my sponsored clothing brand and my Patreon and PayPal links. For those who have been really kind enough to support my channel financially, I cannot thank you enough. Thank you for what you do and your continued support to me and my channel. Hope you all have a wonderful day. All the best, folks. Bye-bye.